crumbed cutlets air fried in a barbecue. The family aren't getting any of these. Oh, look, if you aren't eating crumbed cutlets this weekend, now that should be illegal. Let's get into it. Today we're going to make crumbed lamb cutlets in a barbecue. Cooking time for this recipe will be 30 minutes. Or for those of you who love to use my beer timer, you're looking at a 1 beer cook. Cheers! By liking this video and giving it a thumbs up, you're admitting that you like food smut. For this recipe, we'll need some lamb cutlets. And lucky for me, Mickey out of Gippsland Premium Meats has plenty of lamb cuts in stock. You'll need about 1 kilogram of cutlets for this recipe. That yielded me 17 cutlets to play with. Glove up because it's surgery time. Remove the cutlets from their bag of mystery, and because we are crumbing them, I'm going to remove any excess fat on the outside, like that. Once all trimmed up, you should have something that looks like this. Lamb fat is delicious, but it won't render down under the crumbs, so remove it. Onto the coating now. And we're going to need 3 layers of coating for these cutlets. The first coating is plain flour. 1 cup will do. The second coating is eggs. Crack 2 eggs into a bowl. And we can discard the shells, we won't need them for this recipe. And whisk up the eggs until they are fully mixed. The third coating needs a few ingredients. 2 cups of breadcrumbs, half a cup of grated parmesan cheese, 2 teaspoons of dried parsley, 1 teaspoon of kosher or cooking salt, half a teaspoon of finely grated black pepper, and half a teaspoon of onion powder. Mix the ingredients up thoroughly. If you do share this video, I think you and I can be friends. Coating the cutlets is as easy as gloving up for your protection, adding them to the flour mix, and tossing them around to make sure they're all covered by the flour. Now take them out and shake off any excess flour. Go on, shake them real good. Twerk for me, little cutlets. And then place them all into a tray. Now place a couple of cutlets into the egg wash. Turn them around with some tongs just to save your hands from getting too messy. Then allow the excess egg wash to drain off. Then place them one at a time into the bread mix, covering it completely with the breadcrumbs and pushing down with your hand to help the bread mix stick. Shake off the excess and place them onto a baking paper lined tray. And once they're all covered, they can go in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. By placing the breaded cutlets into the fridge, this helps the crumbing stick to the cutlets while cooking. Science! It's amazing some days. Not today, just some days. Today, I'm using a 57cm Weber kettle and I'm pairing it up with a kettle cone because I want to be cooking indirectly with a temp of 240 degrees Celsius today. And how I'll do that is by placing the kettle cone in the middle of the charcoal grate. Then I'll 3/4 fill a chimney starter with unlit briquettes. I'll light them up, and once they're fully ashed over, I'll tip them into the kettle cone. And then using an old pair of tongs, I'll put the briquettes that miss the kettle cone into the kettle cone because I persist on not watching what I'm doing. Carefully place the grill back in. Hey Weber, I think I have a warranty claim. I don't think my grill should be this shape. I think the heat's affecting it. Then I'll put the lid on, making sure all the vents are wide open, and we're going to give the grill 10 minutes to warm up. I once again have to thank everyone jumping on board and supporting the channel by buying me a beer. There's a link in the comments if you want to jump on board too. The grill is hot and it's time to get the cutlets into the barbecue. But first up, we just want to give the cutlets a light spray with some cooking oil, flip them over, and repeat. And this will help them brown up and become crispy. Now give the grill a light spray of oil just to ensure nothing sticks. Now place the cutlets around the outer part of the cooking grill, as this is where that high heat is being forced by that kettle cone. We are essentially air frying the foods at these hotter temps. And because we are using indirect heat to cook with, the food isn't directly over the heat source, so we won't get any fat flare-ups. Pop the lid back on and grab a drink. By cooking these cutlets with a high indirect heat, we're going to make the outside coating nice and crunchy, but also keeping the inside juicy and moist. That was so smutty, it made me thirsty. Moist. If you didn't know, the Weber lid vent creates a hot spot. As the cold air is sucked in through the bowl vents up and around our fuel, it is then forced back out this lid vent. So to ensure an even cook, I recommend turning the lid a third of the way every 10 minutes. Do you like lamb? What's your favourite lamb dish? Let me know in the comments. The cutlets are done so we can get them off the grill. Look at them, golden and crunchy on the outside and super moist on the inside. Smart! The only thing left to do is eat them before the family smell them. Oh.